Hello, welcome to Spirituality and Science channel. I am Raj Joshi and we're talking about Bhagavad Gita. And the specific topic in that we have picked up is called Bhagavad Gita, Book of Nutrition. Today we're talking about, is there any hygiene guidelines and also something about what type of food, how old it should be, that kind of guidelines. Are there any guidelines out there? The answer is again yes, there are guidelines, clearly says. So we'll start with one simple sloka of Bhagavad Gita. Again, we do research exact to the pinpointing to a sloka on the verse of Gita or any scriptures. So what it says Yati yamam gatrasam puti paryusitam cha mata uchistam apicha medhyam bhojanam tamasam priya. So it simply says that do not cook food 3 hours before eating time. Like if you are really cooking the food, just cook within 3 hours time. Now, many times it's not practical in today's life, but that's the recommendation, that's the guideline. So always cook food with proper hygiene, because the moment you don't, hygiene is to the level basically that, I'll tell you a story. When I was growing up in my place, my grandmother, the culture was such that she'll take first bath, complete bath, and only one sari, and with that dress she'll be going and cleaning the whole basically kitchen, every utensil, and then she will cook the food, and then the first thing she will do is offer prasadam or bhog, the little bit portion of each food, 1 spoon of each, to the deity in the temple, and then only anybody else can enter into the kitchen. Think about the science behind it, the hygiene, because nobody can enter in there. Because if the kids are playing outside in the mud and they enter into the kitchen, which we used to do, then you're dirtying the whole food and everything. So that level of hygiene was in practice. The whole culture of bhog, basically the concept of bhog was all about hygiene in ancient time. And that was practiced. And as a result, the diseases and everything were kept away at distance from us. So the Bhagavad Gita says same thing. Basically, you follow this culture of bhog, don't eat stale food. But then modern science, if you look at the modern science, what exactly they are saying? Well, the modern science is also saying quite same, right? If you read big nutritionists of this world, likes of Michael Pollan, and they're just repeating the same thing different ways. Check out his 7 rule, and where he's in discouraging stale food and food that has more than 5 ingredients. He says if a food is like an apple, it doesn't need to have many other chemicals associated with it. So if you eat any preserved food, obviously it's going to have lots of ingredients. So if you pick up anything today from supermarket, which is basically in some kind of box, you will find like 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 ingredients are written in there. So imagine liquid cheese, which is not supposed to be. The cheese, nature of cheese is solid, right? But when you melt it and remain in the melting form, how many chemicals are to be there? Same thing with beans, same thing with all the canned food out there. So these preservatives, so what Bhagavad Gita is simply saying, if you are having a food which cannot last more than 3 hours, then you shouldn't be eating it. Now, that's a guideline, right? It's a guideline. It's not saying that in today's modern context, we have to stick with a lot of things, but that guideline is simply saying, try to follow as much as you can. Another advice which I like about Michael Pollan, he says that, the most interesting thing when you go into the supermarket, the good food in the supermarket is always in the perimeter of the supermarket. Whatever is in the center, basically is not as good. Now check out yourself. So check out 2 things, that thing and Bhagavad Gita, what exactly it's saying. Thank you for watching this video series on Book of Nutrition, Bhagavad Gita. With all this information, we have proved that Bhagavad Gita is a book of ultimate guide for nutrition as well. Ultimately, it's all about control of mind. So when you're eating and regulating your diet, you're creating a work-life balance, and it helps you in the control of mind. Thank you for watching this, and we will see you in the next video.